All right, part 2. To Jesus and God have red stringed me to the Bible, to the exact scenario. Okay, so if you don't know, I've been calling out Gia Prism and Sarah Treadwell this week. Gia Prism came out with a really offensive video dismissing my entire reality and saying that her reality was correct. And I tried to correct her on that and say that that's extremely painful for you to say that. And I got like the horde of like people at me, and then Sarah Treadwell, who's another psychic I follow on here, came and attacked me and said I was paranoid because I could recognize patterns that Gia Prism reposted a video of mine with med beds, and I made the assumption that she saw one of my videos, which I still believe. I don't know if it was necessarily the video that I was talking about, but I absolutely know she was referring to me because I'm literally the only person who talks about fucking med beds, and I'm a psychic and shit. So anyway, it was a fair assumption, and I'm a psychic, so it's like, no offense, I can read your fucking minds. Like, I know what people are thinking, but people try to gaslight me and tell me I'm paranoid. Anyway, so God leads me to the Bible, and he's like, this is how he does it. Like when I'm doing synchronicities and shit, he's like, open the Bible, okay? And then he's like, here, there's this book too that he made me get like 2 years ago, and I didn't finish it. And he's like, okay, open this book. And so I'll just open it to a random page. Like that's like what it is. Okay, guys, so I'm really sorry. I'm going to try my best here to like not be overwhelmed by this because I'm like, okay, so I have to read from the Bible now. I'm sorry. If you don't like this, scroll on. But this is super synchronistic. It's about starseeds. It's about what I talk about. And it's also like word for word exactly what I've been saying to Sarah and Gia and what's been happening to me. So it's like the insanest thing in my entire life. Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to have to read. I'm so uncomfortable fucking reading the Bible, guys. Okay. Ready? So this is the parable of the sower, which again, I did not like read this shit. All right. Ready, guys? That same day, Jesus went out to the house and sat by the lake. Okay, love lakes, by the way. Anyway, okay. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it while all the people stood on the shore. Then he told them many things in parables, which you guys know. I've already been talking about how I talk in parable codes. Juice to my roast, berries in my basket. He gives me the snowflake analogy for Christ codes, all that stuff. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, a farmer went out to sow his seed. Okay, star seeds. All right. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path. How we all have different paths and how we're all at different soul ages here. Okay. And the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. So that's literally what I'm talking about with these women, is that like I have a deeper truth than them, and that is how I can see through their bullshit. Because my pain qualifies me. My pain and my trauma is the reason why I can see their wounding, and why I can see their hypocrisy, and why I can see their projection, and why I can see their denial, and I can see their narcissism. Because I have a deeper truth, because I've gone through more pain. That's how I'm able to like heal people's trauma. Okay, so I was like fucking dying at this shit. I'm like seeds and now shallow. I was like dying. Okay. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched and they withered because they had no root. See, they have no root. That's what our pain does. It qualifies us. It's where we've been growing roots. For all of us in the background here who, and this is what I'm talking about, is that there's this first wave of women that came in, Alex Ruiz Tarot, Gia Prism, Sarah Treadwell, JK Ultra, they all are shallow. That's why they're able to just callously dismiss people's realities or come on and go back into the oppressive system of Christianity, because their truths are not rooted in something deeper, which is experience, which is life experience. They do not have the life experience. They live in these privileged realities, which is what I've been talking about, and they cannot understand people's pain. And so that's why they so callously, frivolously dismiss people's pain. Okay, so let's keep going. Hold on. Here's us, guys. Other seeds fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still, other seed fell on the good soil, where it produced a crop, 160 or 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears, let them hear. The disciples came to him and asked, why do you speak to people in parables? He replied, here we go, guys. Okay. Because the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. I've been saying this. If you have pain, if you have more pain, if you have more trauma, if you've been healing the wounds, if you've been doing the work, you have deeper truths than these women that say that they have truth. I'm like, this fucking proves it alone. Anyway, whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. This is why I speak to them in parables. All right, guys, here we go. Okay. Though seeing, they do not see. See? Though hearing, they do not hear or understand. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. You will be ever hearing, but never understanding. You will be ever seeing, but never perceiving. For this people's heart has become calloused. That is exactly what I've been saying about these women. They think they understand this shit. They think they have an understanding of it. JK Ultra used the rationalization of D-Rugs as to why she thinks she holds truth. She took ayahuasca and that's it, and she's got all the answers now, and we're all God, and you guys are all fucking in psychosis. Gia Prism came out and said, I've been in this for 10 years, I've been a psychic, and so I'm an expert on ascension, and the rest of you are fucking ungrounded, unintegrated, and using escapism. It's like this shit where women have to come shit on other people's realities because they believe they know what's going on. They believe they hold truth, but it's not rooted in the depth of understanding people. It's rooted in shallow egos of external validation. These big numbers, these people constantly validating them. So it's like allowed them to build this ego. And I've been saying how God's gonna come crush it. So I'm like, this is like fucking insane. First of all, I'm like, okay, wait, we're not done here. So this might take me a lot. Sorry, guys. Okay, because I have to read the whole fucking thing, and then I have to read the shit from this, because then this gets crazier, and then I have to go to the Book of Revelations, which actually has nothing to do with this, but it's just like I have to talk about it because it's literally disgusting. Okay. And hardly hear with their ears, and hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. They turn away. They turn away from the truth when it is presented to them. They double down, they deny. They have to convince people of lies back into oppression to keep themselves comfortable in their shallow, comfortable realities. Okay? Like I said, the Lord's allowing them to do this. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn. I would heal them. That's what I've been saying. I've been saying, come over here, bitches. I can fucking heal you if you listen. I'm trying to align you and cohere you to the timeline and the frequency we're supposed to be on. My fellow star seeds. So that's what God's trying to say. They're still star seeds, these like little shallow people, right? But there's some of us who are rooted in our pain or in understanding, because we've had no fucking choice. Okay. Okay, here we go. But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. For truly I tell you, many prophets and righteous people long to see what you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it. This is what I'm telling you guys. I made a video about this. I'm going to have to post that I might post that directly after this, because I recorded a video days ago talking about how it's not just like a coincidence that you guys are able to stay aligned to the frequency we're supposed to be on. Like, you guys are the new earth leaders. Because, even if you don't think you are, because you're staying aligned and cohered, and you're not falling back into systems of oppression within your own neural pathways. That's what these women are doing. They're leading people back into oppression. Gia Prism is leading people back into democratic socialism, which isn't going to help the whole world. You know, and that's where my channels go. They're inclusive. They include the whole world. Okay, I'm going to have to pause here, and I'm going to have to make a part 3. Okay.